Hello students, in today's episode we are going to learn about the pure vowels or the monophthongs and the way we define and describe each one of them in detail. So in the English language, there are 12 pure vowels or monophthongs, and the aim of today's lecture is to discuss in detail the description and the mode of formation of these pure vowels. As we know, vowel sounds are produced with the vocal tract quite open and with our vocal folds vibrating, whereas consonants are the ones where we use our articulators to obstruct the vocal tract, either partially or completely. The 12 vowels and their symbols can be seen on the screen. In giving a proper description of a vowel, 4 parameters are required. Characteristic vowel qualities are determined by the height of the tongue in the mouth, the part of the tongue raised, that is whether it is the front, center or the back, the configuration of the lips, and lastly, the tension of the muscles of the oral tract. An articulatory description of a vowel must include all of these features. When we classify the vowels according to the height of the tongue, we distinguish 4 classes, namely close, half open and open vowels. So close vowels are those in which the tongue is raised as high as possible, consistently with the sound remaining vowels. Open vowels are those in which the tongue is as low as possible. Half-closed vowels are those in which the tongue occupies a position about 1/3 of the distance from close to open. Half-open vowels are those in which the tongue occupies a position about 2/3 of the distance from close to open. So vowels are also differentiated on the position of the tongue elevation. Based on which part of the tongue is raised, 3 positions are recognized, that is the front, the center and the back. Front vowels are those in the formation of which the front of the tongue is raised in the direction of the hard palate. Back vowels are those in the formation of which the back of the tongue is raised in the direction of the soft palate. Vowels in which the highest point of the tongue is the center part of the tongue are known as central vowels. The next parameter that determines vowel quality is the lip position. During the articulation of a vowel, the lips may be spread, rounded or neutral. Vowels with the spread lips or neutral lips are generally grouped together under the term unrounded. For example, our lips are rounded as we produce the oo sound, whereas they are unrounded, that is spread or neutral, when we say the e sound. Finally, 2 classes of vowels can be differentiated based on the degree of muscular tension, that is the tense and the lax vowels. Tense vowels are those which require considerable muscular tension on the part of the tongue. Lax vowels are those in which the tongue is held very loosely. For example, the long E sound is a tense vowel, whereas the short E sound is a lax vowel. As we can see when we compare the words like seat and sit. For an easy understanding of the 12 pure vowels or monophthongs, we will group these vowels into 3 groups, that is the front, the back and the central vowels. We will now go into detail regarding the description and the formation of these vowels. First, the first group that we will discuss is the front vowels. There are 4 front vowels in the English language. They are the short E, the long E, A and A. Since the front of the tongue assumes various degrees of height in the mouth, these vowels are termed front vowels. The first vowel is the long E vowel. In pronouncing the long E vowel, the front of the tongue is raised in the direction of the hard palate. The sound is considered to be pronounced with considerable muscular tension of the tongue. The lips are neutral or spread. The soft palate is raised, and in normal speech, the tip of the tongue touches the lower teeth. The formation may be expressed shortly by defining the sound as a closed, front, tense, unrounded vowel. Example words like peak, beak, seize, queen, etc. A formal description of the manner of forming the vowel is given as height of the tongue nearly close, part of the tongue which is the highest, the center of the front. Position of lips, spread or neutral. Opening between the jaw, narrow to medium. The second front vowel is the short E sound. In pronouncing the English short E, the general position of the tongue and lips are similar to that of the long E, but the organs are lax or held loosely instead of being tense as in the case of the long E sound. The English short E can be defined as close, front, lax, unrounded vowel. Example in words like pin, bill, give, chin, etc. A formal description of the manner of forming this vowel can be described as height of the tongue nearly half close, part of the tongue which is the highest, the hinder part of the front. Position of the lips, spread or neutral. Opening between the jaw is narrow to medium. Now the third front vowel is the E sound. In pronouncing the vowel E, the front of the tongue is raised considerably in the direction of the hard palate. It is described as lax by many writers. The lips are neutral or somewhat spread. The soft palate is raised, and in the normal speech, the tip of the tongue touches the lower teeth. The formation of the sound may be expressed shortly by defining it as a half-close, front, lax, unrounded vowel. For example, words like red, hat, seven, any, etc. The following is a formal description of the manner of forming the sound. Height of the tongue intermediate between half open and half close. Part of the tongue raised, the front. Position of the lips, spread or neutral. Opening between the jaw, medium. The last front vowel that we will discuss is the A sound. In pronouncing the vowel A, the tongue is low down in the mouth. The front of the tongue is not quite as low as possible, but very slightly raised in the direction of the hard palate. The lips are neutral or slightly spread, and the soft palate is raised in normal speech. The tip of the tongue touches the lower teeth. The vowel may be defined shortly as front, unrounded, vowel, open but slightly raised. Example words like cat, glad, chat, jam, etc. The following is a formal description of the manner of forming the E sound. Height of the tongue between half open and open. Part of the tongue which is the highest is the front. Position of the lips, spread or neutral. Opening between the jaw, medium to wide. Next, we come to the next group of vowel, that is the back vowels. All English back vowels are articulated with the back of the tongue, drawn back and raised by degrees. There are 5 back vowels in English, that is the long oo sound, the short oo, the long o sound, the short o, and a. So the first back vowel is the long oo sound. In pronouncing the long oo sound, the part of the front of the center of the tongue is retracted slightly. It is a long vowel and there is noticeable tension in the muscle of the tongue. The lips are fairly closely rounded. We can describe it as a high back rounded vowel. Example words like pool, doom, tomb, blue, etc. The following is a formal description of the manner of forming the vowel. Height of the tongue nearly close. Part of the tongue which is the highest, the back. Position of the lips, close lip rounding. Opening between the jaw, narrow to medium. The next back vowel is the short oo sound. In terms of tongue movement, the sound is similar to the long oo sound. The lips are rounded and the lower jaw is somewhat raised. It can be described as high mid rounded vowel. Example words like push, took, could, etc. The following is a formal description of the manner of forming the short oo sound. Height of the tongue just above half close. Part of the tongue which is the highest, the fore part of the back. Position of the lips, fairly close lip rounding and opening between the jaw, medium. The next back vowel is the o sound. In forming the short o, the tongue is lowest and the most backward position possible. We can notice a fair degree of lip rounding and the lower jaw is laxed and dropped. It can be described as an open back rounded vowel. Example words like top, got, rock, hop, etc. The following is a formal description of the manner of forming the O sound. Height of the tongue fully open. Part of the tongue which is the highest is the back. Position of the lips, open lip rounding, and opening between the jaw is medium to wide. The next back vowel is the long O sound. O is the member of the English O phoneme used when the vowel is relatively long. Its tongue position is low. The lips are rounded so as to leave an opening which is much smaller than in the case of the short O. The following is a description of the manner of forming the vowel. Height of the tongue between half open and open. Part of the tongue which is the highest is the back. Position of the lips between open and close lip rounding, and opening between the jaw medium to fairly wide. This vowel can be seen in words like door, low, so, talk, etc. And the last back vowel is the long A sound. It is a low back vowel, the lowest of the back vowels. The tongue leaves a fairly open oral cavity, and this is the only back vowel that is completely unrounded and occurs in words such as arm, laugh, calm, palm, etc. A formal description of the manner of forming the sound is given as height of the tongue fully open. Part of the tongue which is the highest, the back. Position of the lips, neutral. And opening between the jaw, medium to wide. Okay, so now we come to the last group, that is the central vowels. There are 3 central vowels, that is the A sound, O, and the long O. In articulating this vowel, the central part of the tongue is raised towards a point in the roof of the mouth that lies between the hard palate and the soft palate. These are unrounded vowels and the lower jaw is dropped noticeably. The first is the A sound. The formation of this vowel can be described as a central unrounded vowel, and we hear it in the following words such as cup, lump, gun, come, etc. A formal description of the manner of forming the A sound is given as height of the tongue half open. Part of the tongue which is the highest is the center. Position of the lips spread. Opening between the jaw is wide. The next central vowel is the A sound. In pronouncing this vowel, the center of the tongue rises in the direction of the hard palate to a point between the hard and the soft palate. The lips remain neutral and the lower jaw is dropped. The vowel is sometimes referred to as the schwa. We hear this vowel in words like along, attempt, admit, etc. A formal description of the manner of forming the vowel is given as height of the tongue between half open and half closed, or between half closed and closed. Part of the tongue which is the highest is the center. Position of the lips spread or neutral. Opening between the jaw is narrow. So now we have come to the very last vowel, that is the long sound. In pronouncing this vowel, the tongue is raised towards the hard palate to a position between half closed and half open position. The lips are neutral and we can hear this vowel in words like pearl, bird, turn, girl, etc. A formal description of the vowel is given below. The height of the tongue is about halfway between open and close. Part of the tongue which is the highest is the center. Position of the lips spread, opening between the jaw narrow. This is all for today's class. I hope you have learned something new today. Do join us next time for more classes, and thank you.